Say, kids, what time is it?
It's kind of like watching TV, but, in your car.
104.7 The Cave. Mike, the intern, in the studio this morning for episode 89 of Dark Side of the Stream with Jay Stevens.
Yeah.
This week was my turn. HBO Max documentary called The Way Down, God, Greed, and the Cult of Gwen Shamblin. Have you ever heard of this chick before?
I had never heard of her before.
Never
Pretty epic hair, though. Very similar to 80s rocker
As she got older, it just got hot.
It got bigger and bigger.
She's like started out with just like as a normal chick. And you look at those like the video of her doing her way down the ministries and in malls and stuff. She looked like a regular chick from the 80s and 90s.
Her hair became epic 80s rock singer. She just got
closer and closer to God. Yeah. My first question for you, Jay Stevens, Gwen Shamblin.
Yeah.
Would you still smash it?
No, not at all. Nasty. No, not my style. Not my type. Not my type. And then to add the wacky religious beliefs on top of that. I'm out.
I had you pegged wrong, man.
No way.
I had you pegged wrong. It was. I figured you'd go, hey, you know what? Whatever happens, happens.
No, the guy that she was with, he was a good looking dude.
The Tarzan dude?
Yeah, Tarzan
we'll get into him in a little bit.
Dude for a while, man.
He was a good looking. So you're saying you would go for the Tarzan?
I'd probably, if Desert Island situation, I might just have to go that side of the fence,
Gwen
man.
Shamblin. You heard it here first, Dark Side of the Stream.
My coming out party right here.
I really didn't want to ask you that question in front of my 2-year-old son.
Yeah, we do have a guest in the studio
in the studio with us. He's watching Magic School Bus.
You can see his head back there.
He'll look up from time to time just to make sure. Just consider him our agent, if you will. He's our new agent for Dark Side of the Stream. If you want to book us for bar mitzvahs or birthday parties, call Ollie and he'll get you on the calendar. Anyway. I had never heard about this chick. I had never heard about Way Down Ministries. I had no idea that there was this huge church outside of Nashville called Remnant Fellowship. The whole story is just unbelievable.
Well, yeah, just it's probably a good time for everyone to reflect. If you are deeply involved in a church, just take a second and go, okay, is everything normal here?
Is everything normal?
Because it can be. It can be.
What are we doing to help the others? What's the core message here?
When you're getting told some weird things, maybe don't go along with it just blindly, See, even
he's back there. He's got something to say too.
And if the pastor owns like private jets and stuff like that, I'm a little suspect.
We're a family affair up here at 104.7 The Cave. And Ollie, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Dark Side of the Stream.
Is this Ollie's first moment on camera?
No, it's definitely not his first moment on camera. But as you can tell, he's focused on something else. We're discussing The Way Down, Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave. 104.7 The Cave. Mike, the intern. Jay Stevens back in the studio. Dark Side of the Stream. We're joined with my 2-year-old son, Ollie. Babysitter had to take the week off.
Guest.
So he's in the studio with us, as you can see. But
Babysitter.
Jay already said no to Gwen Shamblin, but he did say yes to Tarzan.
Yeah, so he's a good looking. He's very well looking good. For a while, he kind of let himself fall apart, but for a while, he was good.
So this chick, hold on, bud. This chick started out as basically doing this thing called the Way Down Workshop, where she was trying to encourage people to lose weight. The way she did it, though, wasn't through counting calories, more exercise, cutting out grains and sugars. It was
starvation
through prayer and starvation.
Yeah. If you're hungry, just pray instead and don't eat.
One girl at one point,
starvation, you're going to lose weight.
One point, girl said that 10 bites a day. You can eat whatever you want,
10 bites,
but you get 10 bites a day.
No, you can lose weight that way, but definitely the most unhealthy way to probably do it, and it's going to come right back on.
And they had some former members of this church that literally had holes in their kidneys and livers because your body will literally start to eat itself. The girl's
daughter became looking like skeleton, man. Like it did nothing.
You want to talk about that right now? I was going to wait to the end, but we can if you want to drop it. Okay, so as they continuing on with Remnant Fellowship, got more and more hardcore with the idea that if something bad happens to you, it's because you did something wrong. Right? Whether it's you're not skinny enough or you slighted a member of the church or whatever it is, if you did something wrong, it would come back to you. So Gwen Shamblin's daughter, if you watch the documentary, at first she looks pretty normal. Yeah. Then she has a miscarriage. Did you notice how much weight she lost between having the first kid and then having a miscarriage. Yeah. She looked like Carrie, like Sissy Spacek from Carrie. She went from like a normal girl to literally like, oh my God, dude, look how much weight she lost. I thought
she had cancer or something.
So then after this happens, spoiler alert, if you don't even know this, Gwen and her husband, along with 3 or 4 other members of the church, died in a plane crash because old Tarzan wasn't as good of a pilot as he thought he was, and literally put it down in a lake because he's an idiot. That's what happened. I mean, but along with their daughter's husband, he died in this too. She hasn't been seen since this happened. Now, she's talked over the phone and done like StreamYard stuff or Zoom call stuff with the church, but we haven't seen her. Can you imagine how skinny she probably is now after this? I guarantee you she believes that all this stuff is her fault, something that she did, because that's what her mom taught her.
Once again, dude, take a look around, take a step back, make sure things are cool.
It's unbelievable what these people believe.
It was a church that turned into a cult, basically,
Yeah, and would encourage child abuse and other forms of abuse, which we'll talk about next in this riveting edition, Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave. 104.7 The Cave, Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens in the studio, Dark Side of the Stream.
With Ollie. He's in the corner watching. Hey, bud, say hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right. So he's our manager, if you didn't know that. So if you want to book us for anything, you go through Ollie to get to us.
Use his Netflix account.
So we're talking about Gwen Shamblin, The Way Down, God, Greed, and the Cult of Gwen Shamblin on HBO Max, which the crazy thing about this documentary was they were actually they were releasing episodes or filming it. They got like to the 3rd episode, then the plane crash happens. Where was she going at the time of the plane crash?
Party time.
No. There was beach. No. She was going to a fundraiser. Yeah, a little bit of a fundraiser, which just a little side note where she was going. Crazy. Anyway, so yeah, they crash, they die. The leader and her husband, aka Tarzan, who was just like the lowest D-list actor you could get.
And the music videos these guys are putting out too, him and the son-in-law, or whatever the son.
I kind of feel bad for the kid.
Terrible
the son.
Videos.
Oh, they were awful. The kid I feel bad for because the son obviously did not want to have anything to do with this church, and since his mom died, has not had anything to do with it. Now there's like a group of 30 leaders that are all in control of it because this thing's still making money, hands down.
How?
I don't selling books, dude. You tell a bunch of people that they have been trying to lose weight, and then all of a sudden they find some way to meditate or to lose weight through starvation, and this works. They're going to do it. And it went so far as to possibly kill a child. And what happened there was these two parents that were members had an unruly child. As you can see, sometimes they get a little unruly, but you teach through consistency and a message.
Glue sticks.
You don't get out glue sticks and beat your kid and lock them in a trunk and not feed them. And anyway, they basically
start to lose me on that part.
They beat this kid to death. And there is transcripts and phone calls of the parents calling church leadership, and saying, "We don't know what to do. What should we do?"
Beat them.
That's what they told him.
But then she tried to deny all that.
Then she went out and did a little PR thing. And no, Gwen, you were complicit in the death of a child. Yeah. Your leadership, the kid, what was that? Ted Anger, but what was he wanted to go by Angier. Yeah, Ted Angier. I wanted to make his name French so he didn't sound like an angry guy. What a clown. Anyway, they were also talking about like they'd have women that would say, there'd be a night where I just wasn't into it.
Yep, I wanted to leave the husband.
Husband would go to the church and say, which I do, talk to my wife. She's not putting out.
Dude.
Now do you kind of feel like you should be a member of the church?
That was the only part of the deal I thought my work.
It was like, hold on, man. Hey, we got to turn that down, buddy. Yeah, that's right. So if you can hear kids' music in the background, that's our problem. Again, it's a professional thing we do here at 104.7 The Cave, Dark Side of the Stream, discussing Gwen Shamblin and her cult, down. The Way Down, on 104.7 The Cave. 104.7 The Cave, Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens back in the studio with my 2-year-old son, Oliver, who's in the corner, watching us discuss The Way Down on HBO Max. Again,
I didn't get as much out of this as you did. You texted me four times about how amazing this thing is.
I thought it was
I thought it was a little long and slow. I thought it could have been 2 episodes probably. But, you know, it was just another crazy cool story. And once again, basically, another one that makes this guy look like a better guy. So I'm all for those.
You're welcome. That's what I was trying.
Keep feeding those to the girlfriend. Keep feeding those to the girlfriend.
I was trying to get you to watch this because this is another example of, hey, don't I treat you so much better than these cult members?
Good you have it. I'm not beating you. I'm not.
That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help you out, man. I'm trying to help you out. So how many calories would you give this documentary?
How many empty calories? I'll go 3. You know. 3? Yeah, it was an interesting story, but it was a little bit long and slow.
Well, I would give it at least 4.
You liked it a lot more.
It's an eye-opening thing just to show you how far religion can go, how far and stupid people will take it.
Yes.
How blind people will be to what is actually happening. I applaud the people that have gotten out of this church and moved on with their lives.
Just take a look around every once in a while.
Ask questions. Yeah. And if you get forced back
check
for
with
questions,
some outside sources, maybe sometimes.
Hey, you know what? If you think you're in a cult and you want to talk to Mike the Intern or Jay Stevens about it, give us a call in the studio. Yeah. We will definitely tell you whether you're in a cult or not.
We could make our own cult here.
And again, this isn't a knock on God at all. At the end of the day, what I've always said is, I don't care what you believe. Yeah. If it makes you a better person, great. As long as you're not hurting anybody and you're helping others, I don't care who you answer to at the end of the day.
But when you're doing the opposite, when you're using when the God thing as a front to ulterior motives and power control, man,
gets dirty, gets way dirty. All right, Jay, what's your documentary?
Right? Oh God, what was the name of it? I just told it to you too. The disappearance of Kim Walls.
You were close.
But what's the name of it? It's called Underwater.
I just remember the disappearance of Kim Wall.
Yeah,
and it's about, also HBO Max.
About a guy that builds a submarine and goes down with a chick in the submarine, and only one of them comes back.
Yeah, after he sinks it himself.
Yeah,
it's a very
he's like an Elon Musk type of guy. He's building rockets and he's building subs, and
makes you also question who your favorite celebrity billionaire is after you watch this thing, because this guy wanted to send himself to space and he had all kinds of stuff.
These other guys.
Yeah, it's a crazy story, and that's what we will discuss next week on Dark Side of the Stream. Watch us live in the studio on Facebook Live, on YouTube every Thursday at 9, or download us as a podcast whenever you want on our 104.7 The Cave. I'm Mike the Intern. This is Jay Stevens and my son Oliver in the corner. Ollie, say hi to everybody. This is Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave.